You're not too sensitive. You're being worn down in small, ordinary ways that don't look dramatic from the outside, but change you from the inside. This is about what happens when the people around you keep taking, through guilt, pressure, subtle blame, passive-aggressive jokes, endless crises, and that quiet expectation that you will stay calm, stay available, stay kind. Over time, you stop trusting your own reactions. You start editing your words before you speak. You feel tired in a way sleep can't touch, because the exhaustion isn't physical, it's the cost of constantly managing someone else's emotional weather. In the rest of this, you're going to recognize the signs of that erosion as it shows up in today's life, in the way your chest tightens when a certain name appears on your phone, in how you rehearse conversations while brushing your teeth, in the little jolt of dread before you answer a call, in the joke that lands like a slap but gets framed as your problem for noticing. You'll see how these dynamics don't just drain your energy, they slowly rewrite your sense of self, until you become quieter, smaller, more careful, more apologetic for needs you used to name without shame. And once you can finally see the pattern clearly, you stop blaming your personality for what is actually a slow, consistent kind of emotional theft. It starts with the smallest things. A message that looks friendly on the screen, but your stomach drops anyway. A quick call that stretches into an hour, and afterward you're left staring at the room like you misplaced something important. A voice note that begins warm and ends with a complaint you're expected to hold. A joke with a sharp edge, delivered with a smile, and the moment your face changes they act confused, like pain is a language you invented to accuse them. Your body learns the pattern before your mind names it. Your shoulders lift when their name appears. Your breath tightens as you type. You soften your sentences, add extra politeness, place a small laugh where none exists because you've learned what happens when you sound tired. You reread the same line 3 times, searching for any word that could be twisted into proof that you're difficult. You hit send, and even while the typing bubble shows, you're already bracing for the turn, the delayed reply, the sudden warmth, the wow okay, the silence that feels like a fine you have to pay. In daylight, it blends into routine. At work it can look like teamwork. You become the dependable one, the calm one, the person who handles things. Someone drops another emergency in your lap with a casual tone, as if your time is shared property. A compliment arrives right before a request, like a ribbon tied around a weight. You stay late, you smooth over tension, you translate messy emotions into something the room can tolerate, and you leave feeling strangely emptied out, like your whole day was spent keeping things smooth for everyone else. With friends it can be even quieter. Plans orbit their moods. Your good news meets a teasing jab that lands a little cruel, then gets defended as just kidding. Your honest feedback gets labeled too intense. When you try to name what hurt, they don't stay with it. They reroute to your tone, your timing, your sensitivity. They act wounded. They hint that you're ungrateful. And by the end, you're comforting them, apologizing, promising to be better, while the original point disappears like smoke. This is the kind of manipulation that doesn't scream. It whispers. It keeps its hands clean. They don't say, "I need you available." They say, "You're the only one who understands me." They don't say, "I'm blaming you." They say, "I guess I'm just a terrible person, so now you have to rescue their self-image." They don't say, "I'm punishing you." They go quiet, go vague, go distant, and you feel the urge to chase, to fix, to restore the warmth like it's oxygen. Over time you start living by their cues, reading pauses, decoding silence, measuring yourself by their mood. Then the internal editing begins. You choose words like you're walking across thin ice. You trim your opinions into something safe. You become skilled at swallowing the first honest sentence and replacing it with a softer version, a smaller version, a version that won't start a fight. from the outside it can look like maturity. You're patient. You're easygoing. You're the bigger person. Inside, there's a quiet grief, the sense that you are slowly being shaped into someone who never asks for much, but is always asked for more. Even when you're alone, the dynamic stays in the room. You're in the shower replaying last week's conversation, searching for the exact moment it shifted. You're making coffee and drafting a message in your head that is firm but harmless, clear but impossible to punish. You lie in bed at 2 a.m. with your phone glowing, rereading a simple sentence as if it contains a hidden trap. You don't actually rest. You just stop moving while your mind keeps working, monitoring, translating, preparing. And social media makes it louder, because it gives the pattern a stage, the public joke that looks playful to everyone else, the story they watch instantly while your message sits unanswered, the vague quote about loyalty posted right after you didn't reply fast enough. And slowly, what changes isn't your schedule. It's your sense of permission. You stop trusting your own reactions. You start believing your needs are too much. You begin thinking you must earn basic respect with perfect tone, perfect timing, perfect kindness. Your body becomes a warning system, tight jaw, clenched chest, that faint nausea when you see their name, and instead of listening, you shame yourself for feeling it. You tell yourself you're tired. You tell yourself you're overthinking. But the exhaustion has a shape, and it follows certain names. There's a moment when you catch the cost in a reflection. In an elevator mirror. In a dark train window. In the glass of your microwave while you wait for leftovers to heat. You see your face and it looks held back, like you've been bracing all day. You realize you've been living in a constant state of readiness, ready to explain, ready to soothe, ready to take the blame for attention you didn't create. And something in you becomes very still in a different way. Not numb. Clear. Clarity doesn't arrive as a dramatic confrontation. It arrives as a small, private refusal to keep disappearing. You notice the guilt rising and you don't sprint to fix it. You feel the pull to over-explain and you let a shorter sentence stand. You let a message sit a little longer before you answer. You stop laughing on cue. These moments look small from the outside, but inside they change your posture. They tell your nervous system a new truth: you are allowed to exist without performing comfort. One night, your phone lights up again. Same name. Same familiar tug in your chest. You're standing in your kitchen, the room dim except for the light above the sink. The refrigerator hums. The air is still. For a moment you don't reach for the screen. You let the vibration fade without turning it into a task. Then you place the phone face down on the counter, quietly, without drama, like you're setting down a weight that never belonged to you. And in the small space that opens, you feel your breath return,